Hello and welcome to this year's GradEx 2020 with me, Emily Woodward.
And me, Alex Lavery. Each year, GradEx celebrates the hard work and talent of our final year students here at Staffordshire University, and this year is no different.
Well, apart from one small detail, this year the entirety of GradEx is being done online, from students submitting their work to employers viewing it.
Of course, it goes without saying that the current coronavirus pandemic has had a large part to play in this being the case, and we know that this is affecting every student in different ways, both in their work and their personal lives. So firstly, on behalf of ourselves and the university, we'd like to wish everyone well during this difficult time.
As journalism students, we have to adapt to the situation, moving our weekly Staff's Live Newsday broadcasts online and working remotely to produce projects that we are really proud of. We're sure many of you are also making the most of a bad situation and are creating amazing pieces of work that you'd love to share with as many people as possible. Fortunately, that's where GradEx comes in.
So, what is GradEx? To tell us more about this and how to submit your project, we have our reporter Joe Williams to tell us more about the process as he talks to Staffordshire University's Head of Student and Graduate Employability, Martin Perfect.
The digital world is becoming more essential than ever before. As a result, Staffordshire University has made GradEx fully accessible online, so make sure you head over to register your final year project at
www.staffs.ac.uk/GradEx.
This year there's over 7,000 companies and industry professionals looking through that portal, and as a result this is an opportunity not to be missed out on. Well, that is certainly the sentiment of Martin Perfect, who I spoke to earlier today. Unfortunately for Martin and I, we didn't have the luxury of meeting up under the Staffordshire sunlight and instead retired indoors, where he took the time out of his busy schedule prepping for this year's event to speak to me about not only the opportunities available to current students, but future graduates as well, heading into the 22nd year of GradEx at Staffordshire University. Obviously, Martin, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today. Looking at the not only current students, but past students as well, do you have any examples or more so success stories that you can give us examples of where GradEx has helped a student and go forth into their chosen career path?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's probably the most pleasurable part of the job, really. And I think one of the comments that we always get back is, I guess at the time, I didn't realise how much a brilliant opportunity GradEx was. So thankfully, somebody convinced them to take part. And I think, looking back on that a couple of years further down the line, they look at that as a brilliant opportunity, really. And if you're umming and ahhing, if you're on the fence and thinking, I'm not sure whether I'm going to exhibit or not this year, please do. Like I say, it'll only take between half an hour and 45 minutes to submit. I genuinely don't think it'll be a regret that you have. So it's a real sales opportunity for a student to put themselves out there and sell both their project and the skills that they've learned through university.
Obviously, there's a lot of support on offer to current students, but what about future graduates like myself in terms of support mechanisms, just both through the university and GradEx?
We're one of the few universities in the UK, actually, that offer lifetime support to our graduates. And as I say, for the future, alumni can come back at any stage, so they can have a conversation with us 12 months into their career, 2 years into their career. Even if they're looking to change career completely in the future, they can still come back and have conversations with us. So our door is always open to alumni, and we welcome them back to come and have conversations with us at any stage.
Thank you, Martin. Really appreciate your time. Bye now.
No worries. Cheers, Joe. Thanks, mate.
And that's all from me. Back to you in the studio.
Now, it's all very well hearing the encouraging words from staff, but are staff students keen to get involved, and if so, why? Narayan Branch reports.
It's that time of year where students can swap one of these for one of these. The next step after graduation is to help themselves find a job. I spoke to final year student Rebecca Edwards to find out why she's getting involved with GradEx to help her do that.
I think it's a really good opportunity for students to have a chance to network with employers, especially during, obviously, this pandemic that we're going through now. There's a lot less opportunities that seem to be emerging compared to what would be around, obviously, if this wasn't happening. So I think it's important that everyone takes advantage of this opportunity whilst they have a chance.
GradEx offers students a chance to showcase their final year projects to 7,000 employers, and forensic biology student Rebecca believes that this gives her a major advantage in her job search.
That's another reason why it's quite important, because it gets to display a bit of your sort of personality and what your passions are to people in a project. So I think if you went there with a project that you've put a lot of time into and it's something that you're really interested in, and then obviously potential employer reads that, they can see what you are interested in, and obviously you could potentially get offers based on that.
So it's quite clear what Rebecca's mission is for GradEx.
Here's an idea. Santiago and I will impress him with the depth of our forensic knowledge.
And thanks to GradEx, every final year student has the chance to impress potential future employers in their chosen field. Ryan Branch, Staffs Live.
With final projects and the slog of exams finished, it might be tempting for graduates to relax and think the hard work is done. However, putting in the extra yards and taking the time to submit your work to GradEx could define your career in the long run. Ollie Godden explains.
Normally, GradEx would look a little something like this. But this year, GradEx has gone completely digital, meaning it's never been easier for you to put your work in lights and get a foot up against your competition. Final year policing and criminal investigation student Ben Walker explains just how important this opportunity can be.
I think it provides you with an opportunity to say a little bit more than what your CV will say, or job application online or in person, whatever it may be. Having that ability to step yourself out above the rest of the crowd through digital GradEx, I think, is huge.
And what would you say to those students who are umming and ahhing over whether to make the effort to submit their work to GradEx?
The application process and the submission process for your work is fairly short and straightforward. That's something the Career Studio can help you with as well. And I think it's worth it for that. You know, we've got a huge summer ahead, and the lockdown and the virus has made everyone have a lot more time at home than they would have done previously. So to push yourself, have that one more little bit of effort and exhibit your work at Digital GradEx, I think is a worthy piece of effort, and something that you will thank yourself in the future if you do make those links and have those relevant parties look at your work for the effort that it entails to start with. I think it's worth it for that final push.
So one final push for the career you want. Not such a bad trade-off. Ollie Godden, Staffs Live.
Now this kind of long-term gain is fantastic, but how about something a little more within touching distance? My lovely co-presenter Emily Woodward tells us more about just how helpful GradEx can be in the short term for work placements, and even beyond this for future jobs.
This may be most students' reactions to the thought of work. But when you've only got a piece of mouldy old bread in the cupboard, getting a graduate job or even some work experience is super important.
But if you're sat there wondering, how do I even go about trying to find a job in this current climate? GradEx is the perfect place to start.
I spoke to Alistair Dawes, the Academic Practice Learning Manager here at Staffs Uni, aka Work Experience and Networking Guru, and he told me all about GradEx and its role in getting us students in employment.
GradEx gives our students the opportunity to come face to face with employers, to really get feedback on the work they've been doing over the last 3 years, and to get a professional industry opinion on that work. And it's a great way for them to make connections, to make links, and every year out of GradEx at least 10 or more students get jobs directly as a result of taking part.
He also explained how being a student at Staffs Uni and taking part in GradEx gives us a huge advantage.
Staffs Uni is the connected university. We've got lots of great links with employers from across the world, and GradEx gives us the opportunity to bring those employers in and show them exactly what great work our students do. We've got many visitors that come back to GradEx year after year, and many companies that base almost their entire graduate recruitment strategy on coming to GradEx and finding those graduates.
You may be thinking, oh, well, I've only got work experience or a placement and not a proper job, but Al explains why this is nothing to be down about.
Often our students will continue to work for the companies they've done their work experience and placements with over the course of their final year and walk straight into that graduate role at the end. You're a safe bet for a company that you've worked for a year. You're already fitting with their policies and procedures, and they know that you've got all the right skills to make a difference to their business.
After running GradEx for more than 10 years, Alistair tells me his favourite thing about it.
What I love most about GradEx is that connection to industry. we get to bring in some of our contacts to show off the excellent work that our students do.
What better way to showcase your talents and your hard work? GradEx might help you secure that dream job without even getting off the sofa. Emily Woodward, Staffs Live. I'm not trying to apply.
With this year's New Look Digital GradEx, opportunity is as great and as easy as it's ever been. However, we all know about that post-exam temptation to kick your feet up and forget about work. But all you need is a little self-motivation. Matt Bates has more.
GradEx gives you the opportunity to showcase your skills, whether they be in geography, sport, art, or even fashion. But the thing that inspires all of them is up here. And with all of you moving on to pastures new, whether that be further education, looking for work, or something completely different, psychology student here at Staffordshire University, Amber Porter, knows how important a good mindset is to success.
The fact that people are adapting and still handing in their work shows kind of how great people are, and the fact that, you know, they've changed their mindset and they're still able to achieve their goals, even though it kind of seems impossible. It's what you make of it. You know, everyone's worked really hard so far, so I don't really want to let myself down.
When her exams are over, Amber, like many others, will be submitting her final year project to give her a step ahead.
GradEx is the perfect way to kind of summarise and actually show off what skills you've gained and what you've done and how far you've come since you started your degree. There's over 7,000 employers this year. You've got 7,000 chances of either getting a job or making connections that will help you in your future.
And, in case you were wondering,
the easiest way to sign up is on the website. It gives you a bit of guidance on what you actually need to do, the steps to take and what you might need. Obviously, this is your one opportunity to sell yourself in the best light.
nobody said getting on the job market would be a cup of tea. But with GradEx, you can give yourself a helping hand and make life a little bit sweeter. Matt Bates, Staffs Live.
GradEx is an opportunity for people from all across the university to get involved, from students to careers advisors. Staffs Live reporter Charlotte York talks to career coach and marketing student Grace Thompson about the importance of GradEx in allowing students to network effectively.
With students all over adapting to the current changes, GradEx is no different this year. Grace Thompson, who is a careers coach and digital marketing master's student at Staffordshire University, is helping out with Digital GradEx 2020.
The benefits of taking part in GradEx is that it provides you with the opportunity to showcase your final year projects to over 7,000 employers. You never know who your next employer will be. To enter GradEx, students must write 100 words talking about their project, goals and skills, and to enter you can just go to www.staffs.ac.uk/GradEx.
As a careers coach at the university, Grace has experience with helping graduates find their next step. So what is the importance of networking and communication when it comes to your job search?
Networking gives you exposure to future career opportunities that you might not have even known existed. And when you're thinking about developing your communication skills and networking skills, you can use tools such as the elevation pitch, where you talk about what you're currently studying, what are your career aspirations and what projects are you working at the moment. The Career Studio offers a wealth of knowledge around all things careers related. In terms of GradEx, it can help straight from the application process all the way up until how to network with professionals online. If you want any help or guidance, please get in touch with one of the career coaches.
Entering GradEx is easy. All you need to do, as Grace says, is head to the Staffordshire University website to their GradEx page. There you can find a step-by-step guide on how to enter. Charlotte York, Staffs Live.
That's all from our MA and BA journalists for today. We really hope you've enjoyed hearing about GradEx 2020 and that many of you will consider getting involved.
Absolutely, it's a truly unique opportunity and definitely worth putting the extra yard of effort into. Of course, if you want to take part and haven't picked up how to do so, it all starts with going to gradex.ac.uk/register, making sure you have your 8-digit student number to hand to sign up.
Once you've done this, you'll need a lead photo to represent your project. Ideally, you'll have something you produce yourself, but if not, Make sure you pick up a non-copyrighted image, and most importantly, make it something people will want to click on. You can then choose your 4 optional photos that can be featured throughout the piece.
Now, as journalists, we know all about the importance of a snappy headline to draw in the readers, and your projects are no different. You have 75 characters to work with for your title. Make them really count. If you're concerned about your title not saying everything that you want to say, don't worry, you have a 100-word description to work with as well.
Once all of this is done, then you'll want to make sure you're targeting the right audience. You'll select your course and a category for your project, and then you can select the type of employments that you're interested in, as well as geographical locations that work for you. However, try not to be overly specific here. You don't want to put hours and hours into a project and then limit the amount of people who'll see it.
And finally, you'll select 4 keywords to describe your project and your skills that will help recruiters find you and your work. Then, the last step is to provide links to your LinkedIn profile, your website, or your online portfolio, so that when you've wowed employers with your incredible project, they can find you and your other work quickly and easily.
Of course, more details can be found on the Staffs Uni website. But that's all from us today. Thank you so much for watching. We hope we've inspired you to seize this amazing opportunity, and good luck with your final projects.